I just told myself, I said, what better way to grow through a different stage in your journey other than to accept the fact that you're growing through it? It's to be excited in the midst of it, because there's nothing you can really do about it, right? So if there's nothing you can do about it, then there's no greater place for me to be in my life than experiencing what I'm experiencing right now and accepting it for what it is, because it is allowing me to grow as a person. And there is no malice, there is no frustration, there's no anger, there is no, deceitful thoughts of anything of that nature because of where I'm at in this time and space. But why not accept where I'm at and then grow through the process? I told a friend of mine that I'm happy, and she stated, how could you be happy in the process, in this? How could you be happy right now? Like, I'm very upset with you and for you that you're even growing through this right now, that you're even having this experience as we speak. And I said, no, I'm happy. She said, how? And I said, well, because I accept my current reality. And in me accepting my current reality, it brings me peace to know that I'm growing through something right now. I'm growing through something that is going to stretch me, that is going to mold me, build me up, and shape me into the amazing, beautiful woman that I'm growing and have become thus far. So in the midst of everything that's transpiring, I can only accept this present reality and be grateful in the midst of it, because whether things are good or bad, there's always something to learn. Whether a person is a great person or a horrible person, that person is walking in their path, and they're on that journey right then and there where they are right then and there at that time and space. And they have every right to be right where they are right then and there in that time and space. And they are not wrong. They are not wrong, because there will come a day where we all live and we learn. Whether it's the hard way, the soft way, the medium way, the short, the long way, we all have a day where we live and learn from the decisions that we make. And when a person makes a conscious choice to make a decision, that decision that they make is best for them in that time and space. So let me be a bit more, transparent with where I'm at in this season. I will not be too completely, out there, but I will be a bit discreet. But in the midst of that, I've had people, the closest people to me in my life and in my family, make choices and decisions that I would put in my words, that made choices and decisions in life to, I guess I would say, to reduce the level of loyalty that I believed that I've established and invested into our relationship. They have gone and just completely did a 360, right? As it relates to, the things that we were building together. And then tell me that I hope this doesn't change anything. In the process of everything that's being done, nothing was communicated in advance, despite what I would have responded to the level of communication. Nothing was communicated. Things were done behind my back. Things were changed out of my name. Things were just drawn away from me. And it was just like an overnight thing, like a dramatic overnight thing. In addition to that, the person that I was confiding in and sharing this personal, intimate stuff with, stuff that I felt would be helpful and, something for them to just keep in their mind, they went and shared everything that I told them with people who are practically strangers, who've not invested into our anything. People who are people, of course. No hatred or anything of that nature, but it's like you having a best friend and then you telling your best friend some secrets about, or some things that you've gone through or grown through as a child that makes you the man or the woman that you are today. And then your best friend goes back and tells your employer, or tells another friend, or tells a total stranger, you know what I mean, that then has a complex against you. They look at you a certain way. They judge you. They assume that they know the essence of your character. They assume that they understand the nature of the core of your heart because of what you shared with your best friend. And then in their own terminologies, they've gone back and expressed that to someone else from their own terms. And I'm talking about having a conversation frenzy about you. And in actuality, you wouldn't assume that someone so close to you would do these things. Someone so close and that you were so invested into would do these things. But the reality is these things happen. And so I have every right now to be right where I am and to be completely happy and grateful that this person has chosen to make the decisions and choose to do exactly what they've done. It's kind of like, I feel, in my opinion, that they've completely turned their back on me and betrayed me and my loyalty. And in that, I'm excited because I feel like these things don't happen if there's nothing that you need to grow into. If there's nothing that you need to grow into, they won't happen. So I'm growing right now. I'm becoming better in so many areas. And whenever I post, I want to make sure that I am completely authentic about the makeup of my character. Whatsoever. I don't give a fuck about what the world is doing. What matters to me is personal development. You understand? And making sure that I connect, that I vibe, that I vibrate on this free. It's so in the midst of all that is, okay, I'm grateful for this season because it's teaching me, it's teaching me that the closest things to you sometimes can be the ones that are further, okay, let me give you an analogy. I've always been la, 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 la. I've always been like a really goofy, happy, giddy, you're my friend type of person. Always. That's always been my energy. I love friends. I love family. I really love people. I really love I love people, and I love friends, and family and other people's family and shit like that. So I've had times when I was younger where I'd have a couple of conversations with people, vibe with a person a little bit, younger. And I'd be like, yeah, so my friend Barbara, my friend Keisha, my friend And I have had instances where I was in my conscious awareness in that state, in that season, where I was actually paying attention to the energy that the person that I was calling a friend was giving off when I said it. And the energy was like, you is not my motherfucking friend. You're my friend. And it was so funny how I was so cool and ready to be friends. And this person hadn't even considered me to be an associate yet. I ain't even in the associate category, right? So it's just like the same kind of thing in relationships with family and relationships with any dynamic of relationships. I had this concept in my mind that everything was okay. That everything was just okay, flowing. We're growing, we're learning, we're growing. And it was just like, bow! Like in your motherfucking face. We are not what you thought we are. But I still love you though. Fuck that. Really? This is love? Or is this learning? We all gotta learn. I'm just saying. That. What the fuck is this? I ain't never heard of no shit like this. But in the midst of it all, like, I'm grateful because I love learning. And some people learn through trial and error. Some people learn through different circumstances. Honestly, that's the greatest way to learn, is letting life be the life teacher. Letting life be the life teacher, letting your decisions teach you. You know what I mean? And letting your choices teach you. Let life, the way the universe turns and things orchestrate, letting those things be your best teacher. It's the greatest way to learn. But I just wanted to share with you, you know what I mean, to remain encouraged, to remain, positive about the things that you grow through, because they don't happen for a reason. They're happening for a reason. And when it's all said and done, and I'm going to say this on waxed, I'm saying it unwaxed, okay? It's unwaxed, okay? When it's all said and done, what people fail to realize is when they have people in their lives who are genuinely engaged, genuinely, authentically connected, genuinely love you, that when it's all said and done and all the pages are turned, when you get to the end of that book, people like myself will still be there. We can still be there, depending on the dynamic of the betrayal. But depending on the dynamic of the betrayal, we'll still be there. And people have to grow through life to experience that. And once they do, then they will know that they bit the motherfucking hand that fed them. You know what I mean? And that hand is a genuine, what do you call that? Unconditional. What do you call that? Inchangeable, right? Unbreakable love. That's the kind of love we need. That's the kind of love we put out there. So that's the kind of love we receive right now. We receive it, right? We can't settle for anything less. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope this was encouraging. I hope this was eye-opening, enlightening. Despite what anybody else feels about what my opinion is and what my, perception of what I'm growing through, no one's in my shoes to speak for me. So the only thing I can do is speak for myself as it relates to how I am affected by it. And I take everything, not always with a grain of salt, but I take everything as a learning, grateful experience. And I could not be in a better place in my life than being in a space of learning who I can and cannot trust. Learning who loves and who doesn't love me, because love is an action word, and I started to kind of say fuck that word, honestly. Fucking show me. But after what I'm being shown, please don't tell me you love me. Please don't say that shit. It doesn't add up. It doesn't match. You know what I mean? It doesn't match your actions. But moving forward, I always say this, and I want to leave you with this. When I was growing through, and I'm still growing through, a healing journey, and at this particular season in my healing, I was addressing the little girl in me. I was addressing the parent relationship, the mother-daughter relationship, the father-daughter relationship. And I concluded that, and it brought me peace, that in my growth, I understand that our parents was dealt a hand, right? And their parents did the best that they could because their parents was dealt a hand, okay? So my parents was dealt a hand. And whatever hand that they were dealt, that molded them for the level of parentage that they were able to actually provide for me, is what they provided. They for what they knew how to provide. And so they did, in my mind, the best that they could in that state of mind that they were in that state of status that they were in. And so that brought peace, a perfect shalom. That brought a peace to me to help me understand that what happened. If anything else was supposed to happen, if I was supposed to grow up this other kind of way, then it would have been that way. But being that things turned out the way that they did, and then I can reflect on myself as a parent, and I'm like, damn, it wasn't like I was taught anything growing up. So because I wasn't, I most definitely have to look at it like, damn, they really did do the best that they can. Because me as a parent, and looking back over, my decisions and actions and things that I've done, I myself can relate to that also. Fucking you in a tunnel and just doing what you know to do, as it relates to parenting. And you grow as you grow along, and you educate yourself, and life teaches you. But I brought myself a lot of peace, and hopefully it brings you peace, of finally coming to the space of even wanting to, of either wanting to consistently for the rest of your life dwell in the things that you've been through, or overcome the things that you've been through by allowing yourself to realize that your parents did the best that they could. Now you're a parent, or eventually you will be, and you're going to have to do the best that you can. Now you're going to either have to elevate and educate yourself before your child comes to just be this perfect ass parent, but I don't think they exist. I really don't think they exist. I really don't know if they exist. Our level of perfection varies depending on the person, right? But if they exist, then they've done a lot of research, and they've done a lot. They're great parents out there, but they still make mistakes. And then if you have a child, if you have a person, if you were the person that made it seem like your life was just so traumatized, so fucking traumatized by, the decisions that your parents made, all of these things that's happening in your life are happening in your life to bring you to a space of growth and healing. All of it is elevating you to the next level in your walk to fulfill a greater purpose, honey bunch. Nothing is for no reason, not to just say, hey, I'm okay that my parents took me through everything that they took me through, because again, there's different dynamics of trauma. There's different levels of it, and I'm not promoting any level of trauma. But if there's any that you've experienced, it is there for a reason, to help mold, shape, and build you to that man or woman or man that you've been created to be, and what you've been created to fulfill, and how you've been created to use that story to help another person that may grow through it. There's a reason for everything. No, I'm not giving kudos to parents who've allowed their children to grow through any level of trauma, but I am telling those people, and myself who's gone through those things, that dwelling in it does not elevate you to the next level. Speaking on it, talking about it, confronting it, addressing it is very healthy. Doing the work is very healthy. But dwelling on it, belittling a person, putting them down, trying to relate to other people, dwelling on the things as if there was anything else that could have been done differently. How does that help you? How does that build you up? How does that encourage you? It's like you live with a weight in your heart that weighs you down. You know what I mean? Because subconsciously in the back of your mind, you find moments pop up where it reminds you of something that you can actually grow past. Our parents did the best that they could. And if you're a parent, you know what I mean when I say that, because you're doing the best that you can with the hand that you were dealt. And I encourage you to remain infinitely idiosyncratic. Remain unique. Remain you. And continue to never be complacent with where you are today. Life is always about growth. Life is always about having those good, connecting, positive, healthy relationships with people. And about family and love, marriage, healthy shit. You know what I mean? Healthy, realistic shit that can happen in 2024, because we're getting smarter and a lot of people are on journeys and we're just getting wiser about the shit that we want. You know what I mean? Despite what changes around us, it's about the individual. You are loved, okay? And I hope this was helpful for somebody, but this is my current season and it is real. Keep your girls in your prayer meditation, because woo! I love you. Peace.